Hello there, welcome to KrishaYoungTV.com. This is a two-part video series on how you know that you might have gut issues and what you can do about it. In the first half, I'm going to be talking to you about your digestive system and symptoms that you might be experiencing that are likely connected to your gut. And in part two, I'll be running through my favorite resources and a mini protocol for you. So please stay tuned and watch all the way through, watch both videos, and feel free to comment in the comments below and make sure that you subscribe. Enjoy! Hello everyone, this is Krisha from KrishaYoung.com, and today I am sitting out here in my beautiful backyard in what's left of the summer, and I want to talk to you about gut healing, how you know you need gut healing, and what you can do about it. First, quickly, I just want to run through, what exactly our digestive system is. It's actually a really interesting and intricate system that, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but it's ignored for the most part by the medical community, except for gastrointestinal doctors, obviously, but your general practitioner isn't going to talk to you about your gut health, which is a real shame because you'll soon see that it is connected to so many things, and by ignoring that part of our body, we're actually causing, more issues, or we're making it so much more difficult for us to achieve healing. So digestion, really, really quickly, this isn't going to be boring. Digestion starts in the mouth. You have enzymes that are in there. You have hormones that are in there. There's all sorts of stuff that's happening in your saliva. You chew, 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 and if you chew really, really well and properly, you're activating that process. The sight, the smell of food as well also activates that process, and it sends signals to your brain, which then sends signals to your gut to start producing the enzymes that it needs and the stomach acid that it needs in order to start breaking down stuff. So anyway, you chew it, you swallow, it goes down your esophagus, and it lands in your stomach, which isn't, like my shiny top, which isn't here. This is not where your stomach is, okay? Let me sit up a bit. Your stomach is here, okay? It's higher up, and it has this like crescent shape to it. And it kind of like sits underneath like your breasts. And that's where your stomach is. So it's not here. So if you're having issues here, that is your intestinal system. And that is the part that you see in magazines, or maybe not magazines, I don't know. Maybe it's just me who reads those kind of magazines. But books with that squiggly line. So here's, sort of like a description of what it kind of looks like in a cartoony kind of way. Anyway, so your food now falls into your stomach. It starts getting digested, and it sits there for quite a few hours while the stomach acid starts doing its thing, which is for the most part digesting protein. So carbohydrates start getting digested in the mouth, protein gets digested in the stomach, and then eventually that mass moves on into the small intestine, where that activates the rest of the enzymes that comes out of your pancreas to complete the digestive process, if you will. In your small intestine, that is a really fascinating space, I think so anyway. But what you need to know is that that is where most of the absorption happens. So all of the nutrients and everything, fat absorption, everything is happening in your small intestine. So that is that top upper part. And it's like this squiggly like ball of spaghetti mass of tubes. With no rhyme or reason, but it's actually quite intricate, and it has like specific sections to it. Anyway, once the food moves past that, it's been absorbed, everything's been sucked out of it, then it moves into the large intestine, where the remaining water and any other nutrients that hadn't been absorbed are taken up by the large intestine, and then it starts to form into poo, and then eventually it comes out the other end. So that's kind of like a quick and dirty overview of your digestive system. Why the hell is that important? Because knowing that there are different phases to your digestive system, I think might help you when you're having any kind of upset in that area. Because then you begin to realize that, oh, maybe it's not my stomach, maybe it's my intestines, and maybe that has something to do with the fact that, I'm not absorbing things properly. My gut bacteria is out of balance, and there's something else that's not right there, because I'm bloated out to here. I look like I'm 9 months pregnant at the end of the day. The symptoms that you may be experiencing, not everything leads to digestive upset. Not every symptom has to do with the digestive system, but there are a lot of symptoms that are correlated to the digestive system. I hope that makes sense. So, for example, let's look at my intake form here. So this is like an intake form for one of my clients, and you can see, like, oh, hang on, let me get my camera right here and hide her name. You can see here, like, that is all of the symptoms that can come up in your intestinal system. So let me name a few. Extreme fatigue, tiredness, sluggishness, recurrent vaginal infections, so yeast infections, cravings, sugars, bread, alcohol, boom, headaches, joint pain. I'm just thinking of all the stuff I went through. Brain fog, the inability to process a thought. A thought would come and then it would disappear. And you're like, no, I was just thinking something. That's brain fog, and that is your digestion. What else is in here? Things like eczema, irritability, depression, anxiety, all of these things have a connection to your gut. So, I see a lot of people trying to figure this out themselves, and I think that's awesome. I think it's really great to educate yourself. So I'm going to show you some resources that I use. But it is a very, very new space, and it's a very overwhelming space. There's a lot of information that's going to come at you from different things. Use bone broth. Don't use bone broth. Prebiotics. What are prebiotics? I'm just getting my head around probiotics, and now you're telling me to have prebiotics? What the hell? Oh, short chain fatty acids? Oh my God, head explode. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to take antibiotics and be done with that. Obviously, that's not a good approach, and that's where a qualified practitioner comes in handy, because they can guide you through this process and figure out, of all of the possible things that you can do, which ones are going to be of benefit based on the symptoms that you have. What type of probiotics should you be taking? What strains of probiotics should you be taking based on the symptoms that you have, right? So instead of just getting some general, protocol going, you could have a really good specific protocol.